Hi guys, you can see that I am a titled sales director, but not a sales pitch. I feel like that needs to be a disclaimer that everyone mentions when they hop up here. So today I'm going to focus our session on private marketplaces, timely given some of the feedback that we've just heard, and really just zero in on some of the common private marketplaces that we see, as well as some tips for executing private marketplaces. So we're certainly seeing higher demand on our side from marketers who are interested in executing private marketplaces, just given the opportunity to have more control, greater transparency, and brand assurance in terms of safety. But first, let's look at a little bit of data. So you can see here, this highlights programmatic ad spending and the growth that we're seeing. So of the 4 segments listed on this chart, according to eMarketer, everything's kind of moving up and to the right, which we like to see. But you can see that programmatic ad spending is growing across device types. So desktop, laptop, mobile, tablet, and there's an increase in real-time bidding as well. And of course, a sharp increase in programmatic direct. So just zeroing in for a second on real-time bidding aspect of programmatic, really the growth that eMarketer is kind of attributing to this fueling of the marketplace is really around the adoption of private marketplaces. So that's what we're really looking at in terms of fueling the growth for 2015 and 2016. So in terms of a private marketplace, we really look at it as a way to buy specific inventory before it hits the open auction. So we're looking at the benefits of a private marketplace as less buyer competition, curated or exclusive content in some instances, increased transparency, brand safe environments, pre-negotiated CPMs in some cases, and oftentimes first look access. So as a programmatic buyer, oftentimes when you're planning your campaign, it's really important to really just understand the buying model. And there's a few different ones that you can look to. So these definitions, so helpfully laid out by the IAB, really outline the different models available to you. So we're focusing on the second line listed, private marketplaces. And I think it's important to know the AKA, what they're also known as. So also known as private auction, closed auction, invite-only auction. And what really differentiates the private marketplace from other buying models is the unreserved nature of the inventory as compared to something like programmatic direct, as well as the seller-buyer ratio. So when you're talking about a private marketplace, you're talking about one seller to few buyers, as opposed to open auction, where you have one seller to all of the buyers. Also, the transaction type that you're looking at here can be a little flexible with either RTB auction or fixed rate pricing. So here are 3 common types of private marketplaces that we see at Millennial. The first is really client-specific. It's a custom curated site list. A lot of the partners that we work with come to us, and maybe they have certain inventory that they want to run on based on past performance from a previous campaign, or maybe they already have a vetted brand-safe list that they want us to bump our inventory up against, and bundle that inventory together to target in a private marketplace environment. So that's one common theme that we kind of see when it comes to private marketplace demand and mobile. The second would be single publisher. So targeting inventory from individual publishers. Maybe these are unique placements or only available programmatically in a PMP. And then last, we see content and audience-specific private marketplaces. So the concept of packaging together inventory, maybe content around entertainment or music, sports inventory, and also audience information. So men's lifestyle, parenting, moms, private marketplaces. When we're looking at pricing for these, we have premium pricing that we see when you have added value for a private marketplace. Maybe you're offering first look access or impression level data. Also, discounted pricing is often offered for in exchange for a spend commitment, so that we'll see that frequently. And then I mentioned earlier the auction-based and fixed rate pricing. So in terms of negotiating a private marketplace, so now you've already figured out that you want to opt into a private marketplace, and now it's time to really understand what you want to achieve with the purchasing of the private marketplace, understand the different pricing models, make sure that you are negotiating the deal effectively. So a lot of large DSPs are now offering tools where you can actually do the negotiation online, or a lot of the negotiations often happen offline as well. And then, of course, establishing the private marketplace through deal ID or private tags. We actually have a whole setup checklist involved with ensuring that the deal ID is functioning properly. So that's kind of a whole nother tech talk probably. In terms of getting started, so at Millennial, you can certainly set up a private marketplace working with the DSP that you're already, working with and partnering with, or you can let us manage a private marketplace on your behalf. And in terms of just general Millennial information, we're making significant investments in programmatic. So we announced our plans to acquire NextAge. That deal should close by the end of the year. We have 1.3 billion daily impressions available on MMX, and we have a high percentage of lat-long impressions and MRAID compatible inventory as well. So I encourage you to come by and ask me some questions during lunch, and I'll be around for the rest of the conference. Thanks very much.